show every Wednesday night from 7 to 8 p.m.
That Wednesday thing.
Because you showed up one night Tuesday.
I did.
Neil, I'm here for the show. Where are you? I'm like, dude.
It's Tuesday. Like, we've been Tuesday.
We've been Tuesday forever.
Yeah.
It might be last this long, I don't know. This could be the last show, too, by the way. Dave, this could be the last show because we have 1.5 Scotsmen in the house, and God knows what they're going to say. So I got my hand on the dump button.
Very important, by the way.
It is stuck.
We need Dave Michaels on the backup dump button.
Oh my God.
You got one. We have I'm going to say 2 Scotsmen in the house. And God knows what they're going to say.
Can I just say?
And by the way,
in pregame, the F-bomb dropped multiple times. So the pregame, Dave Michaels warning you on that.
And by the way, you can get an app. You can get an app on Google or on your iPhone that can translate what they're going to say.
Actually, I could have used that a few times earlier.
If anybody can understand these 2 schmoes, then good luck to you. We take you folk.
Well, you know why? Because I heard a few words that normally might be like put your fists up and fight, but it was all in love. And
that was started with C into the T.
That word, but it was like a friendship way of saying it.
Yes.
Yeah. Okay.
By the way, thank you. We got callers already? We got callers? No, he's gonna hang out. Let's talk about surfing. I want to talk about surfing. Do you want to talk about surfing?
I want to talk about F1.
I want to talk about
expensive mechanical
John
things.
on Westcliff, hang out, buddy.
Well, we can take that call. How about real quick? Let's knock it out. Okay, John, let's knock this out.
Okay, John, you there? What do you want to talk about? Quick. He's gone. I didn't get John. I pushed the wrong button. No idea what I'm doing. Huh?
We're new back here.
We're new.
Rookies.
Oh, hang on, I gotta move it up. Yeah, I moved it up, Dave. The whole thing's moved up. I got the thing on the line. No, John, you are. God bless. Why don't you email me at otlradioshow.com? otlradioshow@gmail.com.
We can talk about it next week.
Next week. He's gone. Thank God for that.
Okay.
So in studio for our listening audience tonight is the big build-up. The former chief engineer of Red Bull Racing for Formula One. I think it was a Honda. Honda? No, not a Honda. It wasn't a Buick, for Christ's sake. I can tell you that. It wasn't a Buick.
Oh, that would definitely not be on the cards, no.
And we have Andy MacDonald here, who is with what? Andy, give me the cue. Okay, you know what, TC?
Yeah.
I'm not going to say anything. They can introduce themselves. I'm going to start off with Andy MacDonald right here.
Oh, Andy.
Hey.
Yeah.
Andy, friend of you, first of all.
Friend of mine. You're a friend of me, mate. You're my mate.
We sweat together in that
yoga studio.
In that yoga studio, that hot elevations place. I'm here with my good buddy Kenny, who's the.
Hold it. We'll get to Kenny.
Okay.
We're talking about
you.
you.
Oh my.
Yeah.
Oh, right.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Me.
Forget him for a minute.
So who am I? Just some Scottish dude that's been over here for about 10 years, working in the car industry.
With Tesla.
Came over here for Tesla originally. Did a bit of time with them, 4 years. I've worked with many other US OEMs, and we're now with Lucid, and that's where I've joined back up with my good friend here, Kenny.
But earlier you said, and this caught my attention because I love cars that are like of amazing high quality. You were with Aston Martin.
Yes, so I started off my professional, if you like, car career. Yeah, so I'm going to roll my R's a bit, and people won't understand. I started off life as
that's the vodka talking.
as a design engineer at Aston Martin. Started off when it was DB7. If you know what that is, I worked on changing the original DB7 i6, which was a 3.6 engine, into the DB7 V12, and it was all about strengthening the body to work with a normally aspirated V12 engine, which we were talking about earlier before, and that led me into developing body structures for advanced cars, and I
gotta say the DB7 to me is one of the most beautiful cars ever made.
It's iconic.
Yeah, I mean it is. It'll be beautiful 100 years from now. And so to have your fingers in the life of a DB7 is amazing.
No, it was a beautiful car. It gave me I was very lucky to get an opportunity to work there, and grabbed it with both hands. Moved from Scotland down to England, lived in Oxford for 14 years.
Did you ever do a massive burnout in that car?
Well, I did many things. I locked the car keys in it. I got transported back from a whitewater rafting trip because I couldn't break into it. There's lots of stories I could talk about in terms of.
But a massive burnout once or twice.
Well,
does that car do burnouts?
Oh,
no,
yeah.
no, it's too gentlemanlike.
Yeah, really.
No, you don't do burnouts in a DB7.
I'm just saying.
You leave
Traction control or
you leave quietly. You leave quietly.
You can turn all that stuff off and have a bit of fun. Real world driven car. It was entertaining to drive.
Aluminum? What is it?
No. So the DB7 project originally, because Ford bought Aston Martin.
They screwed it up.
No, not at all. The DB7 project was originally a Jaguar program, and then Ford decided to give it to Aston Martin because they bought this little cottage industry car company that they didn't really understand, and it was okay. We'll give the DB7 project to Aston Martin. The DB7, for those of you who don't know, was a reskinned Jaguar XJS. They basically
Really?
Yep.
Put a sexy touch on it?
They basically, so the body structure underneath, which is what we call body in white, which is a interesting term, they cut the back end off it, shortened it, welded it back on like a cut and shut job, and reskinned it. Put a beautiful skin on it, designed by Ian Callum, and that was the original DB7 program.
Interesting.
Amazing car.
Yep. DB7?
Yeah.
Wish I had one.
Me too.
But you know what? These guys like my car though.
They did? They like the wagon?
They piled in the wagon today. They piled in the wagon.
Really?
Yeah.
Come on.
They piled in the
German.
wagon.
Okay, they're both, by the way, they're
I got
laughing.
Handkammer in the back. Okay, also in studio tonight is Kenny Handkammer, who is a true Brit. I found out tonight. You know when you find out when you find out when you're talking to a true Brit, when the language comes out.
And the language was perfect tonight.
Well, the language is like this. It's different to the United States, and you can't describe it. But you know when you're talking to an Englishman, when you're talking to an Englishman. That's about it. Right? Am I right?
Then you throw a Scotsman in there.
Well, then you're screwed.
I could have used the app earlier.
Yeah, you were stuck.
Yeah, I was like, "Where's my app?"
You were done. But Kenny, I'm going to talk about a little bit of racing with you because you were with Red Bull, but you didn't start with Red Bull, but you won 97 Formula 1 races, correct?
Yeah, I didn't include all of them. I didn't include all of them.
Yeah.
It was probably well over 100, but I was like, a lot of my other team members won races that I did the pit stops for, so it would have been well over 100. But
right, so
I just included those in what I did personally.
So you were chief engineer for how many teams? Benetton,
Well,
Red Bull.
I started as a mechanic at Benetton.
How did you get the gig as a mechanic? How did you get the gig as a scrawny geezer from from outside of Windsor?
Oh, is that fighting words?
Yeah. It's pretty much. A scrawny geezer is now a mechanic working on Formula 1 cars. How'd that happen?
I was quite mechanical growing up, and I decided that I wanted to go into motor racing. My brother pushed me. I used to go watching races when my brother at Silverstone he's a lot older than me. He's like 14 years older than me.
Yeah.
And can you elaborate on his success as a family member in racing? A couple of big wins, right?
Yeah, he's a Brit car championship winner with BMW. So he did very well, but he did that quite later on in life. But I was still racing. We used to go karting together, and we raced a bit. And I was not very good at it, and I was much better as a mechanic. So it was the right direction for me. And I ended up working for a company that built Le Mans 24-hour cars, right, for customer cars. And then I wanted to do Formula 1. I was told you can't do Formula 1.
Why not?
And because you've got no single-seater, wheel racing stuff. So I was like, okay, well, my cars are more, much more complicated. Okay, they're not having it, go back. So I went and done a year of this, came back and said, now give me a job. And they did. So I worked with Benetton, was my first job.
Right.
Amazing team, amazing people. I mean, it was absolutely lovely.
Benetton was it? What company was Benetton? Benetton was it a clothing company,
it
right?
was owned by a clothing company,
Right.
but it was the original Tolman team.
Right.
And then we ended up having Michael Schumacher drive for us. I worked with Michael for 5 years as his gearbox mechanic, rear suspension mechanic, and was, we had some success, so that was great. And
wasn't he world champion twice under your
yes, 94, 95, and won constructors championship. So
how involved is Michael Schumacher when you're on the team? Is he in there every day, like side by side?
He was actually a bit of a pain in the ass, to be honest.
This is where the good stuff comes out.
I'd like to say something that I love Michael, and it's so sad where he is right now. But at the time, it was like he used to come in. He used to think he was a bit of a mechanic, and he'd like to start doing things. I go,
"What are you doing?"
I'm like, "Go."
Well, you're just messing everything up.
Leave me alone because you want to round this off. I'm going to have to drill this bolt out because you didn't put enough pressure on it, or it's going to be... And I love his support and everything. And he was so enthusiastic, and he just loved it. And it just gives the human value of what a great bloke he was, actually. And people don't see that aspect. They'll look at Michael and go, oh, he's really arrogant, he was this, he was that, because he was German or this or that. He was absolutely one of the nicest people you ever meet.
Right.
And people don't get that personal touch that we ever got,
right.
and it was never publicised. And I think that's wrong. And we've had exactly the same with Sebastian Vettel, which I had at Red Bull recently. And now he's just shown the much more human side of Vettel. But I think there's a stigma between the Germans and British people and all that stuff. I think it's completely wrong. I mean, yeah.
But you could say that about racing drivers and like engineers and mechanics. Full stop. They know it. They're when you're driving a racing car, it's hands on the wheel. You're driving by how you feel in your ass. Between your two bum cheeks, basically.
Can I ask you, responsible for being an engineer on the car that day, or were you always looking to the future? Were you the guy looking towards the future technology and making that car go faster with whatever the newest technology was?
100%, because I was. I spoke to my team manager about a project that I said we need to start 3D printing a lot more things, and we've got these 3D printers, and we're going back a little while now, and I want to fly these around the world, and then we can send an SD file around the world, and we can 3D print, we can put a carbon layup over it, we can make it a proper product part. It might just last for a little bit, it doesn't really matter, but we can get performance out of this. And my boss said to me, you know what, you're just setting yourself up for a lot more work. I said, I don't care about that. All I want to do is get performance, and I think it's the right thing to do. And since then, it leaked out, and everybody does this now.
Yeah, right.
And actually, the 3D printing technology has gone crazy, and you can print, steel and carbon and all the other things. But I think that was something I was quite proud about, although it was a challenging time because my boss challenged me at the time to say, you shouldn't be doing this.
Was Red Bull one of the wealthiest Formula One teams?
No.
No, they weren't. So they were.
Who is?
Mercedes-Benz?
Obviously Ferrari, because they get more.
Ferrari.
Ferrari get more point money, and they get more bonuses than everybody else. And they always have done, and they always will do.
How does that work?
I don't really want to get into that discussion because I think...
Is that because they sell more beach towels with
horses'
heads on them?
Yeah, I don't want to get all Scottish about that.
Well, and I think that's obviously that's why Vettel goes to Ferrari, right?
No, he didn't do that for that. He was following his dream. He was very close to Michael Schumacher. He met Michael Schumacher at like this height.
Go-karting.
Yeah, and they were really good friends, and Michael looked after him. Not looked after him financially. They were like real good friends, and he saw him grow up. And when I saw, it was quite funny. I think I can't remember what race it was. When I saw, I think it was in Japan actually, and when I saw. So with Vettel we won the championship with, and I saw Michael, and we went out and we went to a little Japanese bar, and it was just so nice that I'd won both championships with both of them, but it was so nice to see them as friends.
Yeah.
And actually, we not just them as friends, we were all friends.
Right.
So I think that's something that you'll never, it's like instoned in your life.
Well, for you to see that, because my experience with racing is you kind of get along, but you don't. And so it's interesting for you to say that at that caliber of racing, that we're talking $500 million budgets and stuff to see that they still actually get along.
I think there's different things. It's different relationship. They're different ages, okay, which makes a difference. Maybe Michael looks at Sebastian. It was actually that could be his son, right, growing up,
right,
and it could have been that at that time. I don't know, but they always got on really well, and it was just lovely to see. And actually, it's lovely for me to just be involved in winning a championship with 2 German drivers.
Yeah.
My father's German, so that meant a lot to me when I first won it with my father, and that was it.
I would draw. Okay, I'm going to throw a spanner at you.
Throw a spanner. Throw a wrench.
You'll
Throw a wrench in, Andy.
A wrench. Sorry, my bad. US language. I line it to rugby. I mean, at the end of the day, we have British Lions going on at the moment. British Lions are playing South Africa. For me, rugby was all about massive rivalry and competitive. That's my sport. I played that all my life. But at the end of the day, when you 2 teams,
Get down the pub.
you meet down the pub,
That's
have
right.
a drink, and get on with it.
That's
You know,
right.
you're all good mates at the end of the day.
If you had a car, Kenny, if you had a car outside here in the parking lot here at KSCO, which driver would you want in that car?
I'd probably Andy MacDonald the way he drove me down here tonight.
You in the back of my station wagon. What are you talking about?
He'd blow the wheels off Hamilton. Forget about Hamilton. I was like, my eyes were watering.
If there's a time during your F1 career, I should say, was there ever a driver or a team that you thought were the biggest cheaters?
Oh, here we go.
I probably shouldn't say this because
It's not going far. We've got 3 people listening, so
It's totally sick.
I've got probably the red car.
The red car? The red one. The Ferrari,
I mean, I know factual information that some things they
Just a hunch.
The horse's head.
Something
The horse's head.
Exactly. I think. Actually, what I'm going to do is I want to hand this over to Andrew.
Andrew,
I know nothing.
I'm sure you two have had this talk.
That's some Swervington answer the damn question.
He's like, he doesn't want the horse head in his bed, is what he's saying.
Exactly.
Oh, I'm happy to have that, but I would tell you yes, of course.
Sure, it happens. As I mean,
Okay, hold on. Andrew, just one more
Right.
thing. Have you ever been caught cheating in Formula One?
I would call it cheating. I would.
Or smearing the rules a little bit.
Enhancing your ability to get speed.
I think you call it. It's the way you.
competitive advantage.
Start in the back.
Yeah, the way we read the rules was different to the way you read them, so it makes a difference. And I think
Is that not what sport's all about?
Yeah,
I think
pretty much.
Whether it be baseball and you've got some shit. Apologies.
So stuff in your head.
Stuff in your hands and your hair, and it puts an effect on the ball. Sport's all about leading sport. For me, in my experience, is all about living on the edge of the rules.
Neil, we did a cheating at the dirt track show. Remember we did that?
We did.
I got flack for it.
Yeah, you did.
Because we threw a few people under the bus. But it's only cheating if you get caught, right?
Well, there's that, but rugby growing up, that was all about it.
Rugby, water polo,
exactly. If you're not getting caught, and someone needs to be taught a lesson, it needs to be slowed down so they're not going to get back up quick enough.
It's showing you up. You don't want to get shown up.
No, but you just don't get caught. You don't make a big scene about it. If you make a big draw attraction, then obviously. If you just
so glad I didn't have to answer the question.
Sorry,
It's all right. It's all right.
we're going sideways.
No, you're good. We're
Kenny
going
answered the question.
When you got 2 Scotsmen in the house, you're going to go sideways.
I don't cheat.
Best, your favorite track.
Which are amazing.
And because it's different for me because I used to work in different formulas which had different tracks. So I could go to like Sicily, right, where's a track that nobody even knows about, which is an amazing track. Or I think you have to go to Nürburgring, which is a classic. I love Silverstone. I love Spa. I love Spa as a track. I hate it as a venue because it's just chips and mayonnaise. that's a different thing. But generally,
Well, shit, hang on. Chips and mayonnaise.
You hate the track because the snack bar sucks.
I think if you're talking about tracks, those are the tracks. But if you're talking about events, it's very different.
Okay, so favorite snack bar on the tour?
Monte Carlo.
I don't do snacks.
No.
I go breakfast, lunch, dinner.
Okay, so question. Formula One travels the world. I mean, I can't even imagine how much energy it takes to move a Formula One team around the world.
And the budget.
Yeah, is it like you guys have a FedEx 747? You put all that in?
Yeah, we probably ship 30 tons by sea, and then we'll do another 50 tons by air freight, and I might have got the wrong way around, by the way. But we and it cost us like, at the time that I was doing it, was cost us like $30 a kilo, which is 2.2 pounds to you American people.
So is there
Lovely American
so
people.
what is that, like $1 million to fly the team somewhere?
It's very expensive.
Wow.
So you can do the maths on that. And but the thing is, yes, it is. But it's like a military operation. It's like
The precision is.
and what we do as soon as the car comes back from, because we have to go after the race, you finish, you think that's all done and dusted.
Right.
No, there's 2 or 3 hours of part firme. Make sure you're legal. And then we have to go back to the garage. We have to do our checks, which make sure the weight's right, the corner weights are right, and we have to do a set down on the car. And then we start stripping the car, and we have to we have to send the parts home. We have to put new parts on, or we just send it as just a basic chassis, and we rebuild it the other side. And we could do this. We could be in Bahrain 1 week, and 3 or 4 days later, we're going to be in Malaysia, and we need to rebuild this car. So I think logistically, it's like a military operation, and in some ways, it's actually almost better. I think.
Are you working on cars in airplanes?
We have done that before, where we had a drama. Especially there's a very famous one where we had 2 front wings that they were worth like 2 or 3 tenths a second. We only had one each, one for Vettel and one for Mark Webber, and Vettel destroyed his front wing, and we said we need another one for Vettel, and we were in Japan, so time difference and everything else was going on, and we said, so how can we do this? We phoned the factory and said, well, it's nowhere. So how do we can make this happen? We put 5 or 6 guys on a private aeroplane. We kitted it out. We were all bagged up. We said every type of battery operated, heating, cooling, and glue machine on the plane.
Make it happen as you're flying.
Make it happen. Basically, we were
You
gluing.
built this wing in the air.
Yeah, well, but it was also, we sent all the jigs. We sent everything. It was like unbelievable military operation.
Yeah.
So it landed in. So the guys who were on this plane, they were putting all this stuff on his private jet, and it landed in Osaka. We got a helicopter, so it landed in Osaka. There was like 3 guys that went back, and 2 guys stayed with us, and then we flew it to we helicoptered it to Nagoya. We were like time zone different, right? And then I had the only 2 parts that was missing from it. Like,
in your back pocket.
Kind of. we have this special glue called
There's
2021.
Yeah.
And it goes off really quick. So I had guys on. So we helicoptered it in from Nagoya into the track. The guys took it off there. They put it into a minibus. Took it to me. We put it onto. We have to make sure it's legal too. So we put it on a flat patch to make sure that it's correctly right. We glued the other components on. Sebastian Vettel went out at, I think it's 2 or 3 minutes to 1, which is like we started 1. So we were like ready to go, and he got pole position and he won the race.
Because of that.
It was a logistically operational, amazing team.
One of those
team
2
effort.
That's the beauty of the Formula One industry.
The excitement of it.
It's so
I mean,
fast.
you don't have a chance. You don't have to. You have time to sit and think about. Am I having a good time? No, you're just dealing with it, and that's
Chaos
that's
every
the
hour.
beauty.
Hang on,
So
Chief.
would one of those guys have not started that race if that front wing didn't show up? Between Webber and...
Oh, he would have lost the championship for sure.
Yeah.
And the beauty of it is it was just a huge team effort. And I think everything we talk about, like working with Andrew, is a team effort. I'm actually Okay, we work at a different company now. We worked at both different companies.
You worked at Tesla.
Yeah, we worked at Tesla. We work at Lucid now, and that we emulate exactly the same.
It's a proper team effort. Is the synergy between the teams that we both run is amazing, and it's, I would say, it's our experience having gone through what Kenny's gone through, trying to make things happen within a timely fashion. You know, there's a crunch. You need just make it happen. So how do I do it?
But also, I think you need total passion about it. You need passion about what your job is and what you
Yeah,
love
but
to
do you get the adrenaline that you got from Formula One working for Tesla and now for Lucid? Do you get that adrenaline rush being in a plane, whatever the hell you're doing? Do you get that rush?
Actually, I do.
Because you got stuck with him. Otherwise, you're stuck with him all day long. You know, right?
So actually, I do, because we are doing some special, innovative stuff that we are now talking about and doing some very amazing things. It's complete a team effort.
Right.
It has to be, yeah.
And actually, he's more skilled than I am about this stuff, right? And because I'm learning, I come from a different industry, and
you're bringing the Formula One stuff. You're bringing the Formula One stuff.
No,
So,
but he's doing like, you can and you can't not do this. So he's actually, sometimes he like fires me down and goes, no, you can't do this.
No,
But
the
good.
beauty of it is that this is one of the, in terms of my personal experience, it's the best application of Formula One technologies to straight to a car company.
Right.
End of.
Right. Hang on a minute, guys.
We're going to commercial?
We're going to go to break. We're going to break. Got people sponsoring the show. Can you believe people? Can you believe people
Still?
sponsor the show?
Awesome.
It's amazing.
Love our sponsors.
Good.
Oh my god.
So are we off camera now?
Yes. You can drink all you want. You're fine. Anybody
That's cool, dude.
need a refill?
So we can,
Are you happy with that so
Let's
far?
top that up.
yeah, we could talk.
No, you happy
seriously,
with
we
that
could
so far?
talk cars all day long. I mean, and
I love this shit. You kidding me? It's great. You're telling me stuff that I'm just, my ears are just like shocking.
No, we just want you to be happy with it too, right?
Oh, no, it's amazing.
We want to be invited
seriously.
back.
I'm blown away. Well, you know, because I'm really into racing. I've done 13 years down at the track here.
Yeah, so you've got your...
Yeah, so I've been, or even more than that now, maybe 14 years. But so I'm really into it. I love racing. I record every race. I go home and watch every race.
Do you see the balance between me and Andy? Like, we got on really well because we're just like really proper mates. But we get on like, because, you know what? Andy knows a lot more than I fucking do about stuff.
Well, I'm the OEM side of the business.
Mm-hmm. Right.
He's the racing, but what I take is his skill set.
We just
Which is
bind things together.
Yeah, yeah.
I'm going to
make
bring
it
up
work.
Formula E next because you guys are involved in that too. And I'd like to go there if we
so-
can. And
I'll leave that
is
to
that
you.
okay with Lucid to talk about that?
No. The only thing I can talk about is that we're providing the batteries,
Right.
I'm not technically competent to talk about the next phase. So just
Okay.
say
We know about next.
Yeah, but I don't
We're not allowed to talk about it.
or we're not. Okay.
Okay.
Just so you know, but we provide the batteries for all the Formula E cars.
We got
now.
massive specs.
But that's about.
Oh, really?
Come see us at our
I bet.
Facebook page.
There's a thing about us doing a
Photos,
Formula
supplies, and
E
dismantling.
team. Can't
And
talk
we
about
want
that.
you to
And
know
all
we're
that shit.
doing our
Right.
part,
Thank God for
one
that.
part at a time.
Because we're not. Because
I'm
he'll be
like-
fucking leading.
I don't think I will. I think some-
No, but
Do Lucid, anyone from Lucid know you're on here right now?
Local family bringing autism
I know.
awareness.
They probably have
and
the algorithm with the like.
No, we're
figure
fine.
that out.
We're good. I mean, trust me. We're both reasonably high enough to.
Well, exactly. I don't want you to say something that could get you in
Everything
trouble.
we said is positive, right?
Yeah. We're good. We I know our.
Well, we talked about it at our dirt track down here. That
I'd like to hear
eventually
your
they're gonna
opinion
have to
on
do a-
Formula E.
Well, I love Formula E. I think it's amazing
I mean,
because
that would be a more. Honestly, that'd be an interesting topic. It's like your SS Camaro.
Right, I race a Camaro.
Give us a follow on Instagram.
We talk about it all the time, is that
also,
there's gonna be a time we have
What
to
do you
race.
think about? What do you think about the companies that are swapping out the old custom?
Well, I guess
Mustang?
thanks to the Chill Out
Muscle-
Cafe were
muscle
they?
cars with
TC
EV.
with Chill Out Cafe were they?
Roll the
Straight Sean Romine from
fatty.
Farmers Insurance, who's bringing his shock repellent wet bracelet.
Can I just say, You put that picture on Facebook
Which one?
with the gal.
Yeah, you and her.
Oh,
What's
man.
that all about, by the way?
The shark suit.
The shark suit, boy, you know what? That was our worst show ever. I put it down, I
You
named
said
it.
that. Why was
It was
that?
our worst show ever.
I-
Did you see how many people said, I'm going to
So
watch
much-
that tonight?
Yeah, I know, everyone. That's the
They wanna
interest.
see-
That's your best show ever.
They
It's
want to
like-
see the replay.
Well, it's because...
I don't know if I even have that show anymore because she's trying to sue me and blah 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 blah.
So do we still have that on...
I don't know. I gotta look.
You gotta look?
I'll
Okay.
look for it. She was.
I saw that picture today and I was like, oh my god, I'm so close to that smelly wetsuit. You wouldn't believe what that wetsuit smelled
Oh
like.
my
she was-
god.
yeah,
No, I was
good.
like 2 inches away. I was like,
Yeah.
it's
Well,
like there was a time in my life where I surfed
So
like a week
did
straight
you-
and peed in
did
my
you-
wetsuit and threw it in the trunk and then had to work a week straight. I opened my trunk. And that smell wafted out. That's what it was.
I want to thank Listening Snack for
You
your
wrestle
earplugs.
sharks with
Listening
it or
Snack.
what?
I want to thank the Beach Nest Vacation Rentals sorting out my brothers. My brother's coming to town next week.
Listening
Looking
staff,
forward to
Justin, thank you for my
Yeah,
earplugs.
yes.
Those earplugs are so good. If you have
We're all
surfer ear
spun-
problems, go see Justin at Listening Stack. He'll take care of you.
Okay, let me get to the point here. One of the, I mean, you know, you've talked about your racing since the
I
first,
love
the
racing.
very first show.
Talking to these
But,
guys,
but
these
hang
guys
on a minute, hang on a
really-
minute. I've seen right through you because you sit there and you tell me, oh no. But there's been many times where you first of all you won the championship one year.
Yeah,
the next
okay.
year you're like, hey Neil, I'm just cruising. I'm not interested in winning, which is a bunch of crap.
That's always.
Yeah, he's like, I'm not. I won last year. This year. I'm just gonna take it easy. I'm just cruising.
Right.
Which is crap. Right.
nobody
Now I
takes
brought
it
these
nice and
guys on.
easy.
I brought these guys on TC
Yeah.
to see if they could make you go faster.
I
Now-
know. There's been some.
Now, Kenny,
I found
Kenny,
a few
he's
things
driving.
out.
He's driving a used '73 Chevy Camaro.
It's a 71
A
by the way.
71 Camaro,
Yeah.
which is far from any Red Bull.
Can I tell you why a 71? It's the lightest front clip.
Kenny, can you take it? Kenny, can you take it? Can you take it from here?
Well, actually, I can't.
He's a Formula One front clip, isn't he?
To be honest, a front clip means nothing to me.
but I think-
and,
but-
if you really want me to help you out, I'll come and have a look at it.
But-
But actually, it's rubbish.
But knowing you, Kenny, I think you would have just as. I think.
Although
am
I think
right?
you're a great bloke.
No, let me ask. No, I get it.
But Kenny,
Hang on a minute.
Hang
Hang on a minute. Hang on.
Okay.
Let me ask Andy. Andy, would he have just as much fun down that Watsonville Speedway as he would at Silverstone or Le Mans or Nürburgring, right?
100%, because it's all about the team effort. I mean,
Right?
those-
I know he's the type of guy he would just have just.
It's about experience and just like how are you making things work? How are you making things better?
He would
And-
have had as much fun. Am I right, Kenny?
I hate to say this, but Andy, as you know, my close friend, I hate to really say this, he's
Yes.
right.
Exactly.
But
because
I think it doesn't matter what formula you go to. We could be racing karts for our sons. We could be setting up a Formula Ford or whatever it is. If you go racing is if you're in that actually chassis together and you're doing your own business. It doesn't really matter what you are. If you're in Formula One or if you're in Formula 3 or whatever, it means so much to you. And the passion's great, and the satisfaction is absolutely unbelievable.
Which is what he gets.
well, and for
Right.
me, I
Well,
completely
I
agree.
don't think
I have
you
a
do.
bloke, Billy Nelson, that I race with, and he's a 3-time champion down there, and I would never have been a 2-time champion without his help. But it's the team thing that I get. We get fired up together.
Yeah,
You know,
enjoy it.
yeah, we
You
enjoy it.
You go out there and
We
do
have
it.
passion about it. Our budget is like 1/1,000,000th of a Formula One team. We struggle to buy tires, but it's the thrill, the team effort, the reward, the high fives, the good, the bad, and the ugly is what racing's all about.
You see, racing. I could attest to that across other sports as well. I mean, forgive me. I'm not a racer. I played rugby all my life, but I played it at different levels. You know, and it could be like
Yeah.
kids,
you play rugby?
junior kids.
Right, play rugby down the pub afterwards.
Exactly.
That's exactly right.
I'll go
It's all about having a good time with your team and getting a result that you can all recognise. And that involves not just one individual or one player. It's everybody. Like you say.
Can I ask you about Formula One and going electric? Are you guys joined Tesla and consequently Lucid? Are you going to go back with the technology of batteries into Formula One to make it an electric sport?
Well, our battery technology is already in EV. Every EV in the Formula EV, whatever, is Lucid battery technology. It's Lucid, Ativa. It's called Ativa, which is Lucid. It's done through McLaren, but it's still our battery packs made here, California, Newark. Yes, so we're firmly planted in that.
So you guys are going to go? Is it kind of like now it's going to go back there?
Is there a target on your back?
No,
is
not at all.
Elon coming for you guys?
Elon doesn't like racing. Elon could have got involved with that.
Who's that guy?
So I mean, we both work with Tesla.
I heard he's a Martian now, but
yeah, he can go to Mars.
yeah, but is the future of racing electric? Do you see that?
Of course, everything is electric eventually going forward.
Eventually, yeah, because ultimately they're going to legislate internal combustion engines out of the
Obsolete,
business, right?
which Europe has already has that in pace, right? 2000 was it?
I don't know the
35?
exact figures.
Done?
California's not there. I mean,
So in 2035, what do you race in Europe at the sports car championship? What are they going to be racing?
Well, we don't know that because it's a long way off.
I know,
so,
but it's going to be electric cars, right?
It might be a hybrid. It might be. We don't know yet.
I mean, the engine sizes have been dropping, like even on like Le Mans, LMP1
right.
racing, all that good stuff. But
Diesel electric or something weird. You know?
Well, Dieselgate's kind of killed that. I mean, Audi and the Volkswagen Group are feeling that pain. Electric is the way forward, and the EV formula. I truly believe it. There's a lot of money and power involved in transition into that. Lucid's very well placed.
Lucid, I agree. But let's go fully backwards. Ford's debuting an F-150 electric truck.
Yeah, good for
It's
them.
the fastest F-150 ever produced.
It's got more torque.
Yeah.
I wonder where that information came from.
No, I
In your back pocket.
No, well, I mean,
No,
I've worked with Ford and
relevant.
stuff, but not on the technology side of it, but on collision. But everyone's playing the catch-up game. I mean, the big five or whatever, three, whatever, like FCA, which is Fiat Chrysler, whatever, Ford, GM, they all went Tesla, whatever. You're never going to get it right. And, by the way, they did.
Yeah.
And they kicked your ass.
In the meantime, they're putting money in the back pocket of oil companies during this time.
BMW and you can't take anything away from Tesla and what it did in terms of like. By the way, it works.
Tesla's totally set the standard.
Yeah,
and people are following suit. That's why you've got Volkswagen, Audi, which is basically Audi, BMW.
Yeah,
they all the other manufacturers, Porsche, and then it's BMW and all these other things.
They sold off Bugatti to Rimac, and half our buddies that all worked at Aston all now work at Rimac and Bugatti.
Okay,
it is totally. It's the future. If you agree with it or not, that's up to your opinion.
Yeah.
But I think that it is the future, and that's what we need to do. So
I'd love to go really fast on ramps.
Have you driven them? I mean,
I drove a Tesla, and I was really surprised.
I have a 6-liter, normally aspirated V12 Aston. Right, love it at bits. Right, sounds amazing.
Which is the
best.
That's what
beautiful car.
Are we going to miss the sounds of that?
Yes.
Yes.
You will.
Oh, for sure. Yeah.
Yes.
You will until you drive an EV.
Right.
And you think, oh my god, and I'm being polite.
And we're going back to the on ramp.
Yeah.
Like 0 to 60 in like 3 seconds.
I mean, I love coming along Highway 1, getting on at 17, and I have a Model 3 Performance hitting that thing. I blow everything away. It's like it's a space.
And your Aston?
Yeah. No, I could do it in the Aston. Aston, I get caught.
My son just bought a Tesla.
Well, it's
so I drive a Model 3 Performance.
Yeah.
I love it because I can get the HOV lane.
Kenny, your best day ever, the one the best day ever, the one that brings you the most joy when you go back and think about your racing, your career in racing.
The title of the book.
I've been trying to write a book for a long while, by the way, and I've not found anybody who can do
I'll help you
for me. But I've started it. But besides the book, I think the best experience was of course, winning your first race, because I never thought I'd ever win a first race. Even we were a small team, and
Which
to
team
win
was
it
that? Which team was
was
that?
Benetton.
Benetton. Okay.
And to win that race was unbelievable.
Who was the driver?
Michael Schumacher.
Okay.
And to do that in 1993 in Belgium was amazing, and that was like a godsend. And then, because I met people, I was in Formula One for a long time. And I met guys that were at Tyrrell that never won a race since Jackie Stewart,
Right.
which is 25 years ago.
Right.
And this
So that was a big thing, and Jackie Stewart's such a legend
Right.
as well. So you go, oh my god. So
Yeah.
to win a first race was amazing. To win the first championship was like gobsmacking. The first thing I did, I got back to my hotel, and we didn't have mobile phones in those days, and I phoned up from the hotel phone. It must have cost me, I don't know how much money. And I phoned my mum, my grandmother, and I think
Where she was where?
no, in the UK.
Yeah.
I'm in Australia, so
Yeah.
we won a championship. I said, "Oh my God, thank you very much. Thank you for all your support, and I love you loads so much." And I also spoke to my dad because he's German, and I was like, it was just an amazing experience to say, "Wow, we did okay."
Yeah.
Is Schumacher fan your dad? Was he a big fan of Formula One?
My dad,
yeah. Was he?
yeah, of course, my dad.
I know you
My
guys-
dad's
the
a
family
racing
is
fan, but
racing,
also
yeah.
he's German. So to have the 1st
Mhm.
German World Championship winner was a big deal for him, and I was part of that. So it
Was there a giant bonus for that? Was like that championship? There was like a
No, there was absolutely zero.
Zero. A pat on the back is all you got. Whoa!
TC, we got to touch on this. TC,
We'll talk again in a couple of weeks.
yeah,
Maybe it's still in the mail. You know, because sometimes mail shows up like a year later.
Many years
Yeah,
20
no,
years later.
No, but it's 94, right?
You never know.
I'm
Okay.
just waiting.
30 years
Depends
later.
on
Not
the
here yet.
currency
Not
was.
here yet.
Yeah, it's still in the mail.
TC, we gotta bring this up and talk about it because we got like 10 minutes left.
Okay.
Okay.
The pit stop.
Oh, the world
You-
record.
I mean, you guys had the Guinness Book of World Records for a time for a pit stop in Formula One. And can you talk about how the choreography,
Yeah.
the
okay,
orchestration,
okay. I think
the people that are hired to do that job, and how they work out based upon what the job that they do.
I think things changed massively from where we used to like. We have to do pit stop practice. We have to do pit stop practice. We have to beat people. You have to do like 50 pit stops a day, and train and train and train. They have to go to the gym and get trained and trained by personal trainers to do this.
Do they make good money, those guys? Because it's a full-time job.
They make good money.
They make good money?
They do okay.
Mm-hmm.
But actually change things to go, actually, you know, and actually, why my technicians are training, they're not working on a car. All I care about is the car, because I'm the chief mechanic, right?
Mm-hmm.
So I go like, okay, how do we change this, and what do we do? And we ended up doing, our pit stop practices used to be 50 pit stops twice a day.
And
So
what
100 pit stops a day.
kind of time were they doing?
They were doing like 2.5
Is that
and
good?
stuff. I mean, I think if you go back to 2000, like 12, 13, 14, very good.
Yeah.
So what we ended up doing is going like, you know what? I'm gonna give you the opportunity. We're gonna give you a slot that you can do pit stops. You can do 10 and do them as fast as you can, and then you don't do any more. They hit it in like 2 seconds. 1.9, 1.9, 1.3, 2.3, and then everything changed. That's why Red Bull are now, and always have been, the leaders of making the best pit stop world championships in
And
the
pit
world.
stop is just 4 tires.
4
in
tires.
and out.
Yeah,
Boom, done.
22
2 seconds.
22 people.
22 people?
22 people to take tyres in, off. You got
Yeah.
right. But also, you have spare jack people. You have spares for everything, right? So you have to organise that. So we actually did.
22.
We set highest standards we thought we could, and we did, to perform the best, fastest pit stops in the world. And we did that. And actually since I left there, they're now down at 1.888, which is
So
fantastic.
you got 1.8 seconds. The car's coming into the pits.
Lift it up, ties
lift it
off,
up,
and go.
ties off, ties on, gone.
Absolutely, yeah.
But
It's
you
incredible.
started out as being
Yeah, Jiffy
on the pit crew.
Yes.
And earlier, remember he was saying, Kenny, you said that there was no pit speed limit early when you started off.
When I started, no. There
Yeah,
wasn't, no.
and you were
Kenny
you
was
were
faster than good.
you're
yeah.
the front jack guy. You put the jack
Yeah,
under the
yeah,
wing
he
and you
was-
pull this thing down.
You got
And
black toenails.
who was driving Schumacher back then when you were doing that? Who
There
was
was
that?
Schumacher, there was Fisichella, there was Trulli, there was
Okay,
so multiple people.
you're
yeah.
standing
Kenny
there.
is a tight butthole.
You're standing there. and
By
here
the
comes-
way, I'm quite old. By the way,
no, but so Michael Schumacher's coming at you at like 100 kilometers an hour or something like crazy. Like what is that?
no, he's coming out at like 150 miles an hour.
Okay, so 150 miles an hour.
That's about. That's
He's
about
coming. Okay, so
almost
Michael Schumacher's
280.
coming.
I think you'll back me up with that.
Yeah.
He's
280
coming
kilometers.
straight at you at 150 miles an hour. You're standing there with this little metal contraption that's going to lift the front end up. It's got two wheels on it, and you yank that thing up. Do you trust he's going to stop there every time?
Yeah.
Well, of course not.
Yeah. When do you jump? When do you say,
Well, he's going to get a big pay.
F it, I'm out of here?
Yeah, I think it's a feeling. So I have my own procedure where the car comes in, it hits my jack.
And your toe.
No, I don't jump. I just put one leg off the thing, off the jack, and then it rolls me back. Actually, when it hits, it should be in the right place,
Right.
which is the right thing to do.
Yeah.
But if it goes longer, I will put my foot up. It will go longer, and then I'll put it down and stuff. But I have been hit
Like a
badly.
ballet
and
dancer.
Yeah.
Did Michael Schumacher ever punt you out? You're like
no, because I tell you what, Michael was one of the best. He was one of the best people that would sit exactly in the right place because he's
German.
He's
It's,
German.
not, it's nothing to do with German.
Thank God the driver's German.
Excuse me, by the way.
He's German.
By the way, I'm half
Precision.
German, by the way.
Nice recovery.
I would just like to say that we don't just train our technicians, we train our drivers, and you have to hit that spot, and he hits the spot, and he knows he'll get an advantage out of it if he hits the spot. So if he knows he will hit the spot at the right time, he will get maybe a 1 or 2 seconds advantage over it,
Yeah.
and that's what it's all about.
Did you ever see your co-patriot front jack guys get punted over the rail?
Only me.
Okay. Who punted you over the rail?
No comment.
No,
You can watch the F1 videos.
Google it. Okay. Did that hurt?
Yeah, it hurt.
It was, but it was okay.
It was-
I think we were old school. Unfortunately, I hate to say we were old school. It hurt. We did loads of different things in those days, and yeah, but it was fine. It's part of the business.
Yeah.
Did you go home afterwards and rewatch it and I want to see
No,
how far?
never.
I
No,
went?
he went.
No.
He went on the lash.
He went on the lash.
And in those days, I really wish that I had my camaraderie with my friend and Andy. We
Right.
would love to go on had a couple of beers, but no. To be honest,
So sorry, he was a
very
true
different.
professional.
He was a true professional.
no, they were different days, and
Yeah,
I think
sure.
that's what you have to look at. And but also we had great fun. It was hard work. We worked like 24 hours and more than that, 78 hours a day or whatever. And we did stuff, right?
So you guys are working for Lucid.
Got
That
new
seems,
car
like,
com-
that seems like that company is on point right now.
That new-
It is on point.
Yeah,
Massively. Yeah.
really to me. So
got a new car coming out.
Yeah, and when will people listening see Lucids? Is there a time frame?
Go online, see the website.
Check it out?
Check
Can
it out.
they order
It's-
cars right now?
Of course, yeah.
Yeah.
course,
You can leave a deposit.
And
Yeah.
and the breakdown. I know we have an SUV coming out. Is that a
That's
rumor?
that's-
down the line 2023. That's,
Okay, that's
it's
a rumor?
already
Okay.
out there. Yeah, and of course we have a sedan.
And so what? So I don't. Maybe you could say I can't talk about this, but what would make a Lucid customer or somebody looking for a car today pick Lucid over one of the other choices?
Many things.
The two simple things.
The battery.
Performance and luxury. End of.
Period.
Yeah.
Performance and luxury.
I think-
Those
For
are
me
two
is-
really nice words.
yeah.
And for me, it's the
If
same.
you're a car person, seriously, I mean, I'm a Tesla customer. I drive one every day.
Doesn't compare.
It's not luxury. It's good fun to drive. It's not luxury. I've come from the luxury part of the business as well, like high performance. And
Well, we have listeners who are. I mean, we're in one of the wealthiest places.
you're
in the
right,
planet.
and
We have listeners. We want to hear this.
Heads up to you guys. I mean, at the end of the day, just
Check it out.
Get on lucidmotors.com and check it out. It's
Can
it's
Neil and I?
okay.
A question. Can Neil and I come over and test drive these things?
when that's available, we'll make that happen.
And we should do a podcast.
We should go over there and do a podcast. That'd be kind of fun. That'd be a great
Okay,
show.
so how long is that? Do we know?
Yeah, we'll sort it out when it's available.
Okay, that sounds awesome.
What Formula One technology do you take to to a company like Tesla or Lucid? What do you bring? What do you bring to the table?
You know what? This is an interesting. I mean, that's one of the beautiful things about Lucid right now. So the transition in EV, like Formula One technology, EV, we are now bringing our technology to the Formula EVs.
Right.
So
That's the other way around.
It's almost like a reversal, but traditionally you would say.
Woohoo! I got one.
I mean,
These two idiots over here.
car companies go from like.
They're trying to pour a glass of water over here.
you got to stick a finger in it. I mean, end of the day, it used to be Formula One to like normal car company, and that's failed miserably for a number of years, a number of reasons.
You two guys got to come back, or we're going to do a show wherever.
Lucid is the closest transition between Formula One or Formula EV technology and like mainstream car. We are the closest to making that happen that I've ever been involved with ever. And I obviously will work for them, but I've been involved with a few.
But can I just finish with the show's coming to an end?
Sure.
TC.
Yeah.
Do you think that Kenny can make your car go faster?
Absolutely.
Okay.
He already secretly off the air.
And
all you haters down at the track, I got a secret weapon right now.
Okay.
Yeah, I learned already one thing that's going to make my race car go way faster. Yes.
Exactly.
Okay.
Yeah.
So it was just bringing them onto the show. It was an advantage for you on Friday nights.
Honestly, tonight is one of the best shows we've had because I'm such a racing fanatic.
Right.
For some reason, I wish my dad was really into go-karting. I have a go-kart. I have an amazing go-kart. It was a 1993 World Championship chassis, 80cc shifter cart.
The Kelly kart, was it?
A Track Magic. Yeah, out of San Francisco. But, he says shit, whatever. They won the championship that year. But what I'm saying
I didn't see that much.
it's fun to hear this stuff.
Right.
It's so cool.
Yeah.
And these guys know so much.
Racing history.
We barely cracked the keg open.
Absolutely.
We pulled one or two beers off.
They're gonna. Of all people, these guys have to come back.
You know,
or we're gonna go down to the brewery in a minute. We'll just take the show down there.
Neil, we started the show because our community has so many gems. And I feel like tonight is a great like reason because again another gem is pulled out.
Another gem in the house.
Yeah, and we got to keep doing that because we live in such a unique place.
Absolutely.
And we're gonna keep pulling these gems out. Now again, Kenny, we're gonna get in the garage, make the '71 Camaro drive like an F1 car.
We could do that.
Andrew,
Tomorrow night at the Off the Radio Show over the hill at the Palms live. You guys will be there.
Yeah,
Kenny's going to be there. Andy's going to be there. The Fuse is playing. Don Caruth, Ted.
I heard Fuse tomorrow. Can you confirm?
Killing it.
They're going to play the opening night of the new Santa Cruz apparel store in Capitola.
They will. If you want them,
Yeah,
you got them.
I heard those guys
You want
are
them, you
playing.
got them.
Is that your
Friday
new
at the
place?
Midtown Block Party, which I'm the musical host of, Tsunami will be playing.
Beautiful.
Good band.
Tsunami.
I want to thank Dave for hanging out tonight. Dave's been our engineer.
Yo, Dave.
Thank you so much.
Dave Michaels,
Thank
by
you
the
so
way,
much. And
Dave
good luck,
Michaels,
man.
I put a new bumper sticker on your car tonight. Just so you know.
Thanks everybody for listening. We'll see you next week with another great show. You've been listening to the Off It Radio Show. You can check it out on offiteradio.com, Facebook, Instagram, blah, blah, blah. It's all over there. Thanks, everybody. See you. Good night.
That's switched off now.
Hey, great job.
Thank you, gentlemen.
Oh, no,
that was
it's
awesome.
got a great job.
Shit, we could talk
I
car shit forever.
Are you fucking
What's that?
kidding me?
We could talk
What
car
you're
shit
into, I
forever.
dream about being into. Seriously.